Hello everyone, Jay Chevy Paradox here, and today I'm going to elaborate on the first episode of, um, why did I forget that? I apologize, I'm really tired. The first episode of The Wolf Among Us. Okay, lot going on in the very first episode, sort of introduces most of the main characters that you're going to see, as well as the main plot of what's going on. Now, a lot of what's going on is left up to speculation still because it's only the first episode. And I'm kind of mad because I want the freaking second episode to come out. They promised it to be a month, and still they haven't even released it. It's been about 3 months, maybe. I think. I don't know. It's been too long since I've looked on the forum about it. So, but anyways, they're planning on releasing it soon. But I'm going to give you a breakdown of what I've gathered from the first episode, my theories and thoughts on who the killer is and why I think that, and also a little bit of a backstory to some of the stuff that hasn't been really explained, because I have read some of the comics and it explains a lot. Now, first, my thoughts on the murderer. Okay, they want you to believe in the very beginning that it's possibly the woodsman, because he made a threat that he's going to kill you and Faith because you both beat the shit out of him. Now, whether that is really the reason, whether that came to fruition or not is left up to speculation. I personally do not think that he killed her, but I think he's part of some bigger thing that's going on. I think there's a lot of people involved. Like, I think that he's involved. I think that I think possibly Ichabod Crane might be somewhat involved. It could be like him trying to overthrow King Cole while he's away or something. But that's very far fetched. That's too much to speculate yet. Anyways, my thoughts on the murderer. I did some reading on some of the main characters, like their actual histories. Georgie, which was being talked about by, what was his name? Prince Lawrence. He, I believe, has a big role in this. I don't think he's the murderer, but I think he has a big role. And he is Face Pimp. And I think that he is also from the old nursery rhyme, Georgie Porgy. I think that's who it's supposed to be. Because if you look at the old nursery rhyme, I forget something. I think it's like Georgie Porgy pudding and pie kissed the girls and made them cry, and when the boys came out to play, Georgie Porgy ran away. It sort of goes along with the whole fact that he in New York would become a pimp, because I mean, look at it. Look at the like think about it. It's basically every character in this fits what their personality was in their old world. Like Toad, he was an uppity, snippety, old rich Toad in Wind in the Willows, and now he's broke off his ass in a like destroyed apartment complex, and he still holds his arrogant attitude, but also remorse because of being poor. Because he's like a lot of the fables lost their riches during what is known as the Great War, which is what they keep referring to about tragedy in the homelands. There's like some kind of great war between a bunch of different societies. I haven't read much about it, but I know that it caused a lot of the main characters, like a lot of other fables like Red Riding Hood and things like that, to die. And a lot of them escaped, but the queens and kings and princes and princesses pretty much lost their wealth, except for Bluebeard. Now, I'm going to get back a little bit more on Bluebeard later on in this video, but that's pretty much what's going on there. Now, my thoughts on Tweedledee and Tweedledum. I think that Ichabod hired them as personal guards because if you look at it, he was really pissed off about Faith being murdered, and he doesn't seem to really hold a lot of faith in Bigby or Snow. I mean, he's an asshole. I don't like his character, but still, it seems like that is who contracted them. Maybe him. It could also possibly be Georgie that contracted them. And it could even be Bluebeard, because Bluebeard is pretty much the head honcho. He's the only one that escaped from the homelands that kept his riches. That he was able to maintain his rich status. Now to elaborate on that, I don't think that it was Bluebeard that killed Faith, but it seems like they want you to believe that, because if you read in the little article on the extras page about each character, if you read the Book of Fables about Bluebeard, it said that he used to be a serial killer that decapitated his brides. And, I mean, if you look at it, you got a decapitated head of Faith and now Snow White. They're both female. It's technically a serial killing now because it's happened twice in the exact same way, in the exact same, pretty much exact same time. So it's a repeat, pretty much serial killing. But I don't think that it's Bluebeard, because if it was Bluebeard, why would they want you to? They'd want you to believe that because, I mean, it's obvious in the story he was a serial killer that decapitated his brides. But when you really look at it, why would they tell you that right at the get-go? Why would they give that information? To throw you off. Now, if you look in real science, there's what they call copycat offenders, I think. It's like serial killers that copy other serial killers. I think it's something like that, but I think that whoever's behind this is trying to frame Bluebeard to put the heat off of themselves and onto him, because it would make more sense that Bluebeard would be the killer since he's done it before. And like they said in the storyline, it explains that Bigby is trying to change his ways, but it says at the end, old habits die hard. That goes for serial killers too. Serial killers, even if they recover from whatever the heck's going on in their minds, they still always have that in their brain, like, oh, I want to kill, I want to kill, I want to kill. Ah! But no, anyways, that's my point. I don't think that he is responsible for it. I think someone's trying to drag him down because he, according to the storyline, is pretty much the guy who funds all of Fabletown and supports the government. If it wasn't for him, the government there much wouldn't exist, and everything would pretty much be in chaos and stuff like that. So people rely on him, but I think someone's trying to get rid of him. Now, I'll have more to elaborate on after the next episode's released, but that's my thoughts. Also, it shows the woodsman wielding his axe at the end of the video, at the end of the next episode video. I think that maybe he was returning to his apartment or something. It looks like his apartment, kind of. Now, I'm probably wrong there, but I don't really think he's as dangerous as they're making him look. I think they want to try and trick you with that, and my phone's ringing. But, anyways, yeah, I think that I'll have to leave that up to the next episode to really shed more light on my theories. But that's where I sort of stand with that. Sorry for rambling on. If you don't really want to watch this, go ahead. But I'll probably put a thing in the beginning that says if you don't really care to hear my theories, then don't bother with this video. Because this is going on about 8 minutes now, and I'm just giving my opinions out there. So, yeah. That is my opinions, my theories, and my reasonings in the first episode of The Wolf Among Us. So, my name is J. Chevy Paradox. I'm signing off, and I will see you next time.